I am now joined by Cork band Redee. Lads, first of all, thanks for coming in for the chat with me. Going to start off, first of all, I'll get your names out. First of all, we have...
My name is Richard.
We have Eric and...
Deirdre.
And Deirdre, not Dee, no?
Well, we'll shorten it.
First of all, lads, when did you come out together? When did the band start?
I came into the band in 2011 as a cover band. They had already been formed. There was a previous bass player who wasn't working out, so I came in 2011 and fell into the band then.
The name Redee, where does it actually come from?
Well, we've got Richard with the R, Eric with the E, and then myself, D. So we put it together, Redee, and Eric came up with the name, and we love it.
Very interesting, You write your own music, don't you?
We do write our own stuff.
How would you go about doing this? Because I always kind of wonder, is it something that pops into your head, or do you sit down with a pen and just start writing?
We actually take quite several different approaches to it. It can be like that, where something can just pop into your head. Sometime I can just be jamming a chord sequence and Dee can come up with a melody. And, if things, you can automatically hear when things are starting to spark and starting to gel, and we kind of just take it forward from there.
Music is something that's always been a part of Ollie.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
When would your earliest memories be of, playing an instrument or singing a song where you kind of thought to yourself, I want to be a musician?
I remember when I was about 4 years old in a preschool. We were living in Newcastle in South Africa at the time. And I was up on the stage singing, Jesus loves me, this I know. That's my earliest kind of. And I think I was only 4 years old at the time.
Eric?
Yeah, I always wanted to play music, but I didn't actually pick up a bass guitar till I was 22, I think. But always had a huge love music, had a huge interest in it.
And Dee?
I suppose being from Kerry, we have a lot of local singers, and you'd definitely be inspired to sing a song in the local bar, and I think that's kind of dying out a bit now, but that's kind of the earliest when I remember singing in public.
Influence, I'll go with genre first. It's kind of a mashup really, isn't it?
Yeah, we've never really kind of, I suppose, chosen any particular type of genre. We've just taken the music as it's evolved and worked with the way that it kind of, I suppose, is pleasing to our own ears. We kind of do some heavy stuff, some reggae stuff, some dance stuff, and we don't. It's not that we don't want to settle in any particular genre. We're just taking the music as it comes, letting it flow.
And influences, I'm sure you've got many.
Huge. Where do you start? You can go back to... The 80s was great music, even back before that. It's just all through the decades, really, all types of influences.
If you could give me maybe your top 3 influences.
Led Zeppelin and Kylie Minogue.
And Eric?
Definitely be the Smiths to Bowie. It just goes on and on,
And Dee, would you?
I love Tori Amos and the Stone Roses.
You're together how long now?
Seems like forever.
Yeah, we're actually a relatively new band. We're only together since 2011, really. And we were a cover band up until the last gig we played as a cover band was in the infamous Tinny Shed in Douglas last New Year's Eve in 2012. And January 2012, we said, we had a few tracks in the background that were kind of coming to our set anyway. So we said, let's just knock the covers on the head and let's just go writing our own music, because we just found it way more interesting and such a challenge, So that's what brought us into writing our own music.
Where would you see yourselves in maybe 4 to 5 years' time as a band? Where would you like to see yourselves?
Glastonbury, definitely.
Yeah?
In my kitchen, still recording away.
Gigs, when's your next one?
It's the Cold Key Festival. It's on 17th of August on the Saturday. So it's a lovely festival, and our choir has also performed there. We have a choir in Cork that we also write songs for as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And would you do a lot of that kind of stuff for other musicians? Would you write music for other musicians a lot?
Not really, no. It's just for the Cork Rock Choir. They actually cover 1 or 2 of our songs, and they do a great job of it. It's great to hear it as well, and it's a tribute to us that they do it,
And the festival, will this be the first festival you played at?
Yeah.
So I'd say you're really looking forward to it, really.
Definitely, yeah. I hope it leads on to more,
And where's it on?
It's down there by the Bodega, the Cold Key area.
I do,
there,
yeah. A local one too, which is always good.
Yeah.
Going to ask you about the X Factor now. Is it a go-go free or is it a no-no?
I think we have different opinions. Would you like to give your opinion first, Richard?
Well, I would go for it.
You
I
would?
would go for it. Yeah, I'd like to throw our message out there and just like kind of see what happens. You know, like a roll of the dice type of thing. I wouldn't really go out with any high hopes or any great expectations, but I would definitely give it a shot.
Yeah. If I thought they could make my teeth as white as Ollie Moore's, I definitely
It's not a bad reason to go on, is it? Bit of a makeover.
Absolutely. But I would love if we could like perform our own songs. I think that's the problem with the X Factor, and that's what maybe puts a lot of people off, that, at least with Lucy Spraggan last year, she did bring out her own music.
She did.
I admire her for that. So we definitely would be like on that par with her, that we'd like to bring out our own music.
So as a band, you would go, if the X Factor was to come down tomorrow, you would go and try out?
just for our own music exposure, definitely.
Yeah, we would.
I think that's 2-2, so yeah, I've loads of bands saying no, and now I'm level on par, so I'm kind of happy with that. Worst moments on stage, say, as a band?
Playing with drunken bass players.
Sounds like fun.
And they can't keep time, and they're like walking the walk, but they're just not talking the talk, They're just kind of bopping and jiving all over the place, and they're looking really good, but hitting loads of bum notes, man.
Instantly, is it something, if you're doing a gig, would you have a few pints beforehand, or would you stay completely sober, or maybe just a one?
Maybe one or two.
Kind of set the nerves, kind of thing.
I think it is more to just take the butterflies out of the stomach type of thing. But to go on, high and drunk, you're just asking for disaster, really.
That's true.
I wouldn't actually touch a drop before I play, really.
And your worst moment, Eric?
My worst moment, when I joined this band in 2011, they had a gig previously booked, and I didn't have much time because I had a holiday booked to practice the songs, so I had to go on the stage I just didn't even know the root notes of the songs. I just had to really wing it.
He was
the drunken bass player, don't know bum notes. No, he wasn't.
I was actually sore with hitting bum notes. It was the worst time of my life, musically, I'll be honest with you.
And Deirdre, yourself?
I suppose, just that night that Richard mentioned about the drunken bass player, I was nearly crying in the bathroom, and I was trying to put on false eyelashes, and a girl actually helped me to calm me down. So that night I would definitely agree with Richard.
How did that gig go, incidentally?
We got through.
You're still here anyway, that's the main thing.
Get through. We were the only band as well, I suppose, which helped as well.
Which is good. I mean, that's something you learn from, really, isn't it? Now, your best moment as a band?
I'd say this interview here.
Brownie points.
All our moments together are good. It's fantastic to be with these two guys. Certainly for me, there's no egos, there's no hidden agendas. There's nobody really gives out to anybody. We understand each other. It's nearly like a small family. A functional family, not by no means dysfunctional. A lot of families are kind of half dysfunctional, but we kind of respect each other's boundaries, we respect each other's ideas, and we respect each other as people and as musicians.
And Eric, yourself, would you have a certain best moment?
Just when we finish songs, I just love listening back to a finished song.
It must be nice, that's your work. You made this, this is something we did,
start to finish,
exactly.
Just the bare idea to the finished product, which Richard does a lot of work on using Pro Logic 9 and a program called Addictive Drumming, and he's just top notch at it, in fairness, I have to say,
And yourself, Deirdre?
I love the process of just putting all the stuff together, like when the tracks are layered and you just hear all the rhythms and everything, and just being able to do harmonies. I love harmonising Richard's songs, and he does the same for me, and everything just kind of comes together. So I love the process of getting the song finished, definitely.
And with regards to editing, I mean, it's something that can be an awful pain in the neck, really. But is it something you've learned yourself, or did you maybe go get taught somewhere?
I've actually had to teach myself, and I have looked at a couple of tutorials on the internet, and I think that it certainly has been a learning curve for me over the past 2 or 3 years. But I thoroughly enjoy it. It's nice to actually see how my ear has improved over the past 2 years. What I need to now do is actually learn when to stop editing.
I can really understand that, actually. From my point of view, it's similar enough. So I kind of get what you mean. Your track Seize the Day. Where did this come from? What's it about?
That was a challenge. Eric said to me, "Why don't you ever write a happy song?" So I said, "All right, we'll write a happy song."
That was on Friday. I said this to him. Saturday he emails me the song, Seize the Day. And
Really?
Sunday I went up to his house, put down the bass line, and it was up on YouTube the Monday. It was just one of
That
those
quickly.
songs.
It was as quick as that. It was.
That's kind of amazing. I mean, when you think people might take months to write a song.
Oh, absolutely.
But when you kind of take that type of beat and that type of feel, it's very, very easy to just like kind of get lost in the music. Very, very easy. Yeah.
And what's the song about?
It's about picking yourself up again, after having a love lost and dreaming of that love, for such a long time, being depressed, falling into drunken stupors and wondering where the hell you went wrong, being scared to try and have another relationship. And then I suppose actually realizing, hey, something, I might mess this one up as well, but that's okay. Or the best I can be is me.
Which is fair enough, really, isn't it?
So, yeah, leave your bed unmade.
Right, this is Redee and Seize the Day live here on Life FM.
I wake up to the sound of music and Maria ringing in my ears. She's singing soft and slowly, exactly what I need to hear. I wonder if I'm dreaming, cause it seems too good to be true. You tell me we're having a baby, that you love me too. You know it's time to seize the day, leave your bed unmade. You know it's gonna be okay, listen what I say, cause it's a brand new day, gonna be okay. It's time to sing me a new song, not of hate and war, but of this newfound feeling I never felt before. I'm sick and tired of being lonely and down and depressed. I have to rise above my emotions, gotta do my best. Yeah, you know it's time to seize the day and leave your bed unmade. You know it's gonna be okay, listen what I say, it's a brand new day, gonna be okay. I wake up to the sound of music and Maria ringing in my ears. She's singing soft and slowly, exactly what I need to hear. I wonder if I'm dreaming, cause it seems too good to be true. You tell me we're having a baby, that you love me too. Let me tell you I'm not afraid. I'm ready to bring it up again. I'm not scared of the mess I made. I clean it up again, I'm not afraid. It's time to sing me a new song, not of hate and war, but of this newfound feeling I never felt before. I'm sick and tired of being lonely and down and depressed. I have to rise above my emotions, gotta do my best. Yeah, you know it's time to seize the day and leave your bed unmade. You know it's gonna be okay, listen what I say, it's a brand new day, gonna be okay.